And assembly see, in fact, him say ever since a year Sarfo Kantanka free mono, a year back and forth between a year neba Adwoa Sarfo and ne babema a year akofana. And I'm so Adwoa Sarfo ya babe to tune tuning sense bebre. Na omukoko ready well, and I will no will ni muno. Say Sarfo Kantanka control say basically no ne back of nana sisi ombe head of the family. Na ono eno pese osie no ne back of nana na ensie no ene nsensem bebre. Enti after reading the will no na yen say asem no etuetwa. Apparently Adwoa Sarfo si ono de onti ase. Enti ono she ni date say obeye which is today. Ne back of nana so ne nkrofo ka say dabi. Omunya nche date obeye Adwoa Sarfo nso say waton sa frame nkrofo otumfo ama ne kwan waton sa frame penyimfo bebre say omombre ye ni ase baomiamu ne nkrofo bebre so omombre ye ni ase. Na nini na echi no you see because we na ba bonti and we no yaka wom say akofuna na wonye no. Na for me I feel say at that point Adwoa Sarfo wonja asem ni mo. Ba Adwoa Sarfo ko radio so ko ka say wonja mu ende ochina kan ho ono de obeye na ye. And I was like, hey, Charlie, mami audio. Enti enra ena akofuna any the family ni bi e call court. Omo call court, omo de kotre court say papa na ka won we mu say ne be na ye na ye. Adwoa Sarfo so by force ono ko ye. Enti court tie na court e kan say ye the injunction ato eye no so. Say ma Adwoa Sarfo enkonko ye no. You know, surprisingly, and Adwoa Sarfo ne Kantanka fo ni bimu omo support Adwoa Sarfo na kwa ye no. Yes, and omo ye no. Grofo ba ye na say omo ye ne kese and all that. In fact, to share we ni mukra na papa na kra ka say my man state burial. My ye ne kese say state burial what you say. But omo ye no what you say and all that. Impenyifo na so mo ambe ye na say because of probably the injunction. But Adwoa Sarfo dey still waye na ye. Na ebi mo kan say Adwoa Sarfo will she be cited for contempt because a court ema injunction na okoso kokko ya de na yetumi cite yetumi kokko ne cite for contempt nso de yetumi chi utum nti Adwoa Sarfo no ye be chi no for contempt ana say de that is the question now. Na senior me ma moti ase say ya na eba legal issues and I say any other issue be an assisi ade me pese Ghana for ye ni na ye ne say oh ye expert write to me and I'm going to read. Inti ya na eba legal issues sana ya bra our ye law students Daniel Gidi ya na legal issue be about what tron some who am reading on or sanso atro on injunction our pese ye ni na ye ti injunction ase. Inti me baba be read ni article na what about injunction. So let's go and then let's try to understand what's going on. And then first time we'll have Mr. subscribe and click the notification bell on so. This our latest news we are on Sa Ebeka. This video is kindly sponsored by Corporate Logistica. Omo vehicle management company ewo Ghana ha. Na oya Ghana ni na utie me na pese we invest in sa cars akesiye, cargo vehicles akesiye no. O de ba fashion Corporate Logistic ansa nothing as in adwen wo ho because omo abeye maintenance o kan ne ho omo abepɛ driver maka no ejuma wo ho aka ne be every day omo abeye insurance o kan ne ho ama na at the end of the month bia no omo ma aketua 2 times for 059 8022033 on Corporate Logistic for Andrew. Now let's go into the issue. I say when does an injunction become enforceable? Or say can a court injunction stop a funeral if the affected party has not been served? So this is the question. Na yenhwe. I say by Daniel Gidi, legal commentator, law student. I say an injunction is an equitable remedy by which a court directs a person either to refrain from performing a particular act, a prohibitory injunction, or to perform a specified act, a mandatory injunction. Inti yebra dinkan atretre injunction ni so atre say injunction kran eyedien or say an equitable remedy by which a court directs a person either to refrain into a idea bia a kwan bia ye se a court use e the directing crofo say or bibia wo mo ba be ye no omunyaye or say the objective is to preserve the status quo until the substantive dispute before the court is finally determined. It's injunction no die ntia ne ye say bibia e koso no manso aba ho montwen mamonya hwe na emfa asem mba ni endi asem ni wie di wie a ne yatre nti wo bekoso ana akoso akoye nti wo sidan e wa asase bi so obi si asase ne ye ne dia mo twe ho manso otumi kokot ekokoje injunction say men to adan ne so eso twen yendi asem ne wie ansana ekowo ya na watu adan ne so nti injunction no or tretrase also the law of injunctions is one of the most misunderstood areas of civil procedure. Many people assume that once a court grants an injunction and the news is broadcast on radio or social media, the affected person is automatically bound by it. That is not entirely the law. It's yebra tremwa mayati ase because yemu bebre emra akofena ko ye kokoji injunction endra no na ngrofo se when Adwoa Sarfo ntumi nye eye no. But here bra some can say that be injunction ne de okoji wie ne ye hu dede wo news radio so an interest injunction no eye adwuma di ntia na okasa obeti ase. Also traditionally the common law required that an injunction be personally served before a person could be punished for disobeying it. Inti answer na court ebe hu ne se nipa kro we tia injunction inti yenchi nintum no. Na trese injunction no ye de ahye nipa ko nensa ye de share nensa se wonya ya de a wo ye no. Wankwan still wenyai. Inti ye de injunction ne hye nensa. Jai de wo ye wenyai. And it's quite funny because say embra akofena onu so yesi ne hene no. Adwoa Sarfo koje injunction akofena okoso ase o si hene no. Eno na Adwoa Sarfo ye se o de injunction ne ko sha akofena nsem wo ne fie ho a ye kokko tutu ne tio no. Ntonu so fili se ene me so me ye na okoje injunction dia ye behwe ubehu me wan na dia ba be hye mensa. It's injunction no o se mra ne tre se first na nke ye kan anka mra ne tre se fashion ni pakro ne nsa o de hye ne nsa ne de still okoko ye dia ye hu ne se o de ma no. Or say this principle was established in ex parte Langley 1879 13 CHD 110 where the court held that a person should not be committed for contempt without proper notice of the order. Inti ye say injunction no yamfa nche nipa kro nsa no okoso akoko ya ade na maye nche no for contempt. Or say however the law has evolved. In Masri and Consolidated a year Contractors International UK Limited 2011 EWCA CIV 898 the court held that personal service is not always indispensable once it is proved the respondent had actual knowledge of the injunction. The order may be enforced even without formal service. So see first na sana net but see ano embre asesa embra se sase nipa kro no eno ane se obema na so ate se na so tie a eni kwan se ode injunction no ekokoshe ne nsa because me sure say court na omu hu se engrofo e de fa ho e de ya wate wenya injunction pa na wa hye de dwane ofihwe na se o serve na unhu no no akwa ya de no ko kan o se injunction yan serve me. Into say Attorney General versus Times Newspaper Limited 1992 1 AC 191 affirmed that a person who knowingly disobeys a court order cannot rely on technical defects in service to escape liability for contempt. These principles are consistent with Article 19 of the 1992 Constitution of Ghana, which guarantees every person the right to a fair hearing and procedural fairness before adverse legal consequences may be imposed. As a practical illustration, suppose Party A is preparing to bury his deceased father a day before the funeral. Party B obtains an injunction restraining the burial. Before Party A is served, radio stations and social media announce that the court has stopped the funeral. Is Party A automatically bound by those announcements? And the answer ye Daniel Gidi Eman or say no. Inti just like Adwoa Sarfo die uko ye esi akwa koje injunction ye ka wo radio so court be hu ne say enu nti ye mfa ne say watiana or say no. Or say a radio broadcast, newspaper publication, social media post or community rumor does not constitute legal service of a court order. Or say public discussion alone is insufficient to establish that the respondent had notice of the injunction. So see ya kan radio so, ya kan newspaper mu, say nkrofo kan social media so nti an interest Adwoa Sarfo wate. What if for trail say ono dey on tie radio, on tie news, on share social media. Or say however, if party A is informed by his lawyer or otherwise acquires actual knowledge of the injunction and deliberately proceeds with the burial, the court may treat the conduct as contempt, even if personal service has not yet been effected. But if there is a way, you better say indeed Adwoa Sarfo wate, now so still wakwa ye de betumi a for contempt. In the case we know, say akofena court no kosu Adwoa Sarfo for contempt e was akofena to me prove say Adwoa Sarfo te and I still wakoko ye. Adwoa Sarfo on the side as some can say want it. That will be her defense. And also key legal principle. Or say an injunction becomes enforceable against a respondent when it has been properly served or when it is proved that the respondent had actual knowledge of the order and intentionally disobeyed it. In the injunction, no, send ya ye kano key. Send nipa krono ya serve no. What's you evidence bibiatre say what's it? There is a video na injunction ye can want some news and I know no social news na video no betre. Now saying cra AI aba. And so if there is a way to prove all those things, and no nebema ye hu say okay. Na otie anana wate ena webu court embraso inti ene de betumi a for contempt. Or say the party alleging contempt must prove that a valid injunction existed, that the respondent had notice or actual knowledge of it, and that the respondent deliberately breached the order, just as I said. To say conclusion, the law seeks to protect both the authority of the courts and the constitutional rights. 2. Procedural fairness. No person should willfully disregard a lawful court order, but neither should anyone be punished for breaching an order of which he had no knowledge. As a bottom line, an injunction does not become enforceable merely because it is announced on radio, television, or social media. The decisive question is whether the affected person was properly served or had actual knowledge of the order before acting. This is coming from our brother, Daniel Gidi, who is a legal commentator and a law student. We will follow no at the legal lens. That's yes, and the number so 0244917980. So what legal issue be now here advisor, you can call him. That's yes, yeah, brother no. Into what yes, yeah. Into Sisiano, Adwoa Sarfo case no, as to whether a betting for contempt or not. It is up to Akofena to prove in court. Say injunction no, through Adwoa Sarfo. Interesting, right?
Ghana ni bia wutie me no. Book we eye asset ba ko a e wo se wo keep e wo fie. To book we ma wo ho. To ma oba. To ma obi biara osombo e wo wabrabo mu. Wadamfo obi a opese odiye wabrabo mu bia no. To sa book we your friend the Ghanaian investor. Na sa book we be trail different forms of investment a obetumi aye e wo Ghana ha. Licensed investments. The first one e ya de bia your friend emergency fund. Book we bet show send you best set up emergency fund. Abrabo aye boy bibia betumi ato. If you have an emergency fund, ebeba na aba be save you. Oka betumi asay wo kwan so. Obetumi ayare, oba betumi ayare. Nini na emergency fund no ebe take control of all those situations. Book no besan so atre wade bia ye fe na endowment fund. A betumi dia protect you ho any future. Na sa endowment fund no nyame mpengu okokonya accident na untumi nye adwuma bioma, it will take care of you for the rest of your life. Book no besan so atrel senya obe set up a personal pension fund. Enkrofo bebre eye adwuma wie call retirement, or call retirement, you are no more about betrayal, or setting up a personal pension fund. That will not be your case. Most importantly, book we betrayal how to invest in the Ghana Stock Exchange. Now, Ghana Stock Exchange investment, basically, it means you are buying ownership of Ghanaian companies. Now, Ghana Stock Exchange, it is one of the best performing markets in the whole world. A lot of people are making money from the Ghana Stock Exchange, but they don't know how to invest in it. Book we a better idea. Your investment be why a friend of mutual fund. Book we better how to invest in a mutual fund. Now, mutual fund, you don't need to be rich to invest in a mutual fund. I remember an example. You find say wa woba fresh. Now what per license mutual fund Ghana has say opesodi usikashim. Say to me invest 500 cedis every single month. A Ghanaian mutual fund moi. By the time I will be 19 years now I done a millionaire. You find say wa CB we did 10. Opese that chibi odi every month for 500 cedis a mutual fund mu emano. By the time I will bano and our fast obedi 29 years now oye millionaire. Wankasa utie me we di 40. Now so washa unye investment bia and no one say obey mutual fund every month for 500 cedis a shame. By the time obedi 59 years now when you 1 million Ghana cedis. Into mutual fund that is how it works. Small money every single month. By the time embre ebebano nesikano ayekese book we better sanya mani na sa ope book no ni PDF anase ni twi video a free anase WhatsApp number na ewo book ni so sisia na sa we Ghana ni na wa brochure na ope hard copy of the book a very simple call Amazon na search for the Ghanaian investor place the order bibia obi a be ship e dia bro medase.